Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. My name's Ellis and I'll be your host for today's quiz. Today's quiz is a general knowledge quiz and it consists of 100 questions. Those questions will flit around a bunch of subjects and we'd love you to let us know at the end of the video how many points you scored across those subjects. You could be a champion, master, enthusiast, apprentice or an explorer. Let us know how you rank at the end in the comments. So let's get started with question 1. Good luck. Who launched the Communist Revolution in China? Mao Zedong, Chiang Kai-shek or Zhou Enlai? So for each question you are given 3 multiple choice options. Find the correct one. For question 1 it's Mao Zedong. Question 2. Which French leader crowned himself emperor in 1804? Louis XVI, Napoleon I or Charles de Gaulle? The correct answer for question 2 is Napoleon. Well done if you got that one right. Here's question 3. What is the traditional title for a US president's wife? First Lady, Lady Regent, or Madam Consort? Have you heard any of those terms? And have you heard any of them used or referring to the US president's wife? The answer is First Lady. 4. Bill Irwin acted in which 2008 film? The Wrestler, Rachel Getting Married, or Frost Nixon? The answer is Rachel Getting Married. Mike Nichols directed which classic 1967 film? The Graduate, Midnight Cowboy, or Easy Rider? One of those films was directed by Mike Nichols. Do you know which one? The answer is The Graduate. On to question 6. Eric Idle co-created which legendary comedy group? Monty Python, The Goon Show, or Saturday Night Live? Eric Idle co-created legendary comedy group Monty Python. Andy Kaufman played Latka Gravas in which sitcom? Taxi, Cheers, or Friends? Andy Kaufman played Latka Gravas in Taxi. Question 8. Which musical gave Danny Kaye his big break? Guys and Dolls, Lady in the Park, or South Pacific? If you ever don't know any of the questions and you don't know what the correct answer is, you can always have a guess. Maybe that's the case here with question 8. Did you guess correctly? The answer is Lady in the Park. 9. Which Dire Straits album popularised compact discs in the 80s? Love Over Gold, Brothers in Arms, or Making Movies? The Dire Straits album we're looking for is Brothers in Arms. Question 10. Which Janet Jackson hit featured Robo-Funk style production? Rhythm Nation, Nasty, or Control? Do you know what Robo-Funk is? If not, which of those songs gives off Robo-Funk energy? It's Nasty. Who released the Confessional solo album Face Value in 1981? Phil Collins, Philip Gabriel, or Sting? Face Value was an album released by Phil Collins. Question 12. Which REM album marked their arena breakthrough in 1988? Document, Green, or Murmur? The correct answer is Green. Question 13. Unlucky for some, will it be for you? Which U2 album made them global superstars in the 80s, them being U2? Rattle and Hum, The Joshua Tree, or Boy? Which U2 album made them global superstars in the 80s? The answer is The Joshua Tree. Question 14. Which singer was known as the Velvet Voice of Soul? Teddy Pendergrass, Lionel Richie, or Luther Vandross? The Velvet Voice of Soul. Luther Vandross is the answer. Which Police song became one of their darkest stadium hits? Roxanne, Every Breath You Take, or Message in a Bottle? Testing your knowledge of bands here, the answer we're looking for is Every Breath You Take. Question 16. Which girl group set the template later used by Spice Girls? Bananarama, the Bangles, or the Go-Go's? Bananarama, the Bengals, or the Go-Go's? Spice Girls used a template previously set by Bananarama. Which duo featured Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart? Yazoo, Eurythmics, or Soft Cell? The answer is Eurythmics. Question 18. Which culture club frontman was known for flamboyant style? Boy George, George Michael, or Mark Almond? The answer is Boy George. On to question 19. Which Cure frontman became known for his unique gothic image? Morrissey, Robert Smith, or Dave Gahan? The answer is Robert Smith. 20. Which Frankie Goes to Hollywood debut album shocked the 80s? Relaxation, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome, or Liverpool? The 80s were shocked by a Frankie Goes to Hollywood album. It was their debut album, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. Question 21. Which Human League single became a massive 80s hit? True Faith, Don't You Want Me, or Blue Monday? The answer to this question is Don't You Want Me. Which Madonna hit helped redefine female pop power in 1984? Like a Virgin, Holiday, or Papa Don't Preach? Maybe a tougher question here. Do you know which of those Madonna songs is correct? It's Like a Virgin. Which 1984 album cemented Prince as a musical genius? Sign of the Times, Purple Rain, or Love Sexy? The 1984 album that cemented Prince as a musical genius was Purple Rain. What season do tulips usually bloom in gardens? Summer, spring, or fall, or autumn? Summer, spring, or fall/autumn? If you see a field full of tulips, it's probably spring. The answer is spring. Question 25. What kind of leaves do boxwoods typically have? Needle-like, large-lobed, or small, evergreen? A pivot now into nature, away from music, keeping that general knowledge moving. The answer is small, evergreen leaves. What shape do black-eyed Susan flowers usually have? Bell-shaped, daisy-like, or trumpet-shaped? What shape do black-eyed Susan flowers usually have? If you're looking at a black-eyed Susan flower, it's got daisy-like shape. What pollinators are strongly attracted to butterfly bushes? Beetles, butterflies, or earthworms? So there's an obvious choice there, but is that correct, or will you go with something different? The obvious answer is the correct one. The answer is butterflies. What type of growth does English ivy display? Upright tree, spreading vine, or root vegetable? English ivy displays a certain type of growth, and that growth is spreading vine. Question 29. What does English ivy often do to walls? Cover them, wither, or break them instantly? English ivy often covers walls. Cover them is the answer. Question 30. What crime was Al Capone convicted for? Murder, tax evasion, or smuggling? Known for doing and committing a lot of crimes, but which was Al Capone convicted for? The answer is murder. What sentence did Bundy ultimately receive? Life in prison, death penalty, or 50 years? The sentence that Ted Bundy ultimately received was a death penalty. 32. Socrates was accused of corrupting which group? Youth of Athens, political leaders, or soldiers? Was Socrates accused of corrupting the youth of Athens, political leaders, or soldiers? The answer is the youth of Athens. What was Socrates' method of execution? Hanging, poison hemlock, or stoning? Tough question here. Do you know what Socrates' method of execution was? It was poison hemlock. What change did Michael Jackson face in 2005? That's charge. Which charge? Tax fraud, child molestation, or drug smuggling? What charge did Michael Jackson face in 2005? The answer is child molestation. 35. Where were the Nuremberg trials held? Berlin, Munich, or Nuremberg? Again, if you've not heard of the Nuremberg trials, you don't know the answer, have a guess. The Nuremberg trials were held in Nuremberg. Question 36. Which disturbing evidence was found in Jeffrey Dahmer's fridge? A severed head, camera footage, or a skull? The correct answer is a severed head. Which chef is famous for diners, drive-ins and dives? Guy Fieri, Bobby Flay, or Andrew Zimmern? The correct answer is Guy Fieri. Which UK chef is famous for home cooking flair? Nigella Lawson, Buddy Valastro, or Emeril Lagasse? Well, home cooking flair is one way of describing it. The answer is Nigella Lawson. Question 39. Which Austrian-born chef is globally renowned? Wolfgang Puck, Alan Ducasse, or Sanjay Thuma? One of those Austrian-born chefs is globally renowned. The answer we're looking for is Wolfgang Puck. Well done if you got that one. 40. Which chef is best known for cake artistry? Buddy Valastro, Duff Goldman, or Michael Simon? Does anyone else fancy cake now? The correct answer to question 40 is Buddy Valastro. Which US chef popularised BAM as a catchphrase? Bobby Flay, Emeril Lagasse, or Graham Elliott? Still thinking about cake? Try to not let that waver your concentration. The answer to 41, the catchphrase BAM was popularised by Emeril Lagasse. Who is a popular chef in New York? Bobby Flay, Gino D'Acampo, or Ainsley Harriott? One of those is a popular chef in New York. Ainsley Harriott and Gino D'Acampo are popular in the UK, but Bobby Flay is popular in New York. Which US president served from 1981 to 1989? Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, or George H.W. Bush? The answer is Ronald Reagan. Question 44. Which president was known for fervent anti-communism? Ronald Reagan, John F. Kennedy, or Lyndon Johnson? Fervent anti-communism. Which president was known for that? It's Ronald Reagan. Question 45. Which president served during World War I? Franklin Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, or Harry Truman? During World War I, the US president was Woodrow Wilson. Who became president of Russia in 1999? Dmitry Medvedev, Vladimir Putin, or Boris Yeltsin? The correct answer is Vladimir Putin. Which Russian leader was once a KGB officer? Vladimir Putin, Leonid Brezhnev, or Nikita Khrushchev? The answer is Vladimir Putin. 48. Which Frankish king is called Father of Europe? Charlemagne, Louis XIV, or Constantine? Charlemagne, Louis XIV, or Constantine? The answer is Charlemagne. Next question. Which country has New Delhi as its capital? Nepal, India, or Bangladesh? For which country is New Delhi the capital? The answer is India. Question 50. Which leader laid foundations of the Swedish state? Gustavus Adolphus, Olof Skotkonung, or Christian IV? Apologies for the slight mispronunciations on a couple of those names there. The answer is Gustavus Adolphus, and we are now halfway through this quiz. Tutankhamun's tomb, KV62, was discovered in 1922 where? Giza Pyramids, Valley of the Kings, or Luxor Temple? As we pass the halfway mark, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified in all of our upcoming videos. The answer to question 51 is Valley of the Kings. What did Pharaoh originally mean in Egyptian? Living God, great house, or divine ruler? The answer is great house. Question 53. Which decade saw the internet become everyday life? 1980s, 2000s, or 2010s? Which decade saw the internet become everyday life? The correct answer is the 2000s. Which site launched in 2003 for social networking? Facebook, MySpace, or Twitter? The answer is MySpace. Which company launched the first widely used touchscreen phone in 2007? Samsung, Apple, or Nokia? The answer is, of course, Apple. What major issue emerged alongside new internet growth? Faster broadband, cybercrime, or free Wi-Fi? The correct answer is cybercrime. 57. What feature of the internet can be both protective and dangerous? Speed, anonymity, or free storage? Speed, anonymity, or free storage? The answer is anonymity. 58. The first smartphone was sold in which year? 1990, 1993, or 1996? The first smartphone was sold in which year? The correct answer is 1993. Before 3G, most phones mainly handled what? Gaming, calls and texts, or video streaming? Before 3G existed, most phones mainly handled calls and texts. Question 60. What keyboard type was popular on early smartphones? Virtual only, QWERTY, or numeric only? The answer is QWERTY. Many smartphones can connect to internet via what? Dial-up, Wi-Fi hotspots, or satellite? The answer is Wi-Fi hotspots. Question 62. What built-in feature lets smartphones record photos and videos? GPS, camera, or speaker? Of course, the answer is camera. Question 63 next. GPS chips in smartphones help identify what? Phone numbers, locations, or music tracks? The answer is locations. Question 64. Which advancement made smartphones more affordable and powerful? Cloud services, cheaper circuits, or better batteries? The answer is cheaper circuits. Which snake is named for its black mouth? King cobra, black mamba, or boomslang? Which snake is named for its black mouth? The answer is the black mamba. 66. Which snake is the longest venomous species? Western taipan, king cobra, or anaconda? Which of those is the longest venomous species? The correct answer is king cobra. Question 67. The venom of the king cobra can kill what large animal? Elephant, horse, or lion? The venom of the king cobra can kill what large animal? The answer is an elephant. Which snake has the deadliest venom? Fer de lance, western taipan, or banded krait? Anybody with a snake phobia is perhaps struggling with this part of the quiz. We're nearly out the other side. The answer is western taipan. What unique jaw feature helps snakes swallow large prey? Hinged chin bone, unfused lower jaw halves, or stretchable tongue? Tough question there. Do you know the answer to this one? It's unfused lower jaw halves. Question 70. Who painted Café Terrace on the Place du Forum? Claude Monet, Vincent van Gogh, or Gustav Klimt? Not a snake in sight on this question. Do you know the answer? The correct answer is Vincent van Gogh. Which artist created Starry Night? Leonardo da Vinci, Vincent van Gogh, or Rembrandt van Rijn? The painting Starry Night was created by Vincent van Gogh. Who painted Girl with a Pearl Earring? Was that Raphael, Jan Vermeer van Delft, or Michelangelo? Girl with a Pearl Earring was a painting created by Jan Vermeer van Delft. Which artist painted Christ in the Storm on the Sea of Galilee? Claude Monet, Rembrandt van Rijn, or Caspar David Friedrich? Which artist painted Christ in the Storm on the Sea of Galilee? The correct answer is Rembrandt van Rijn. 74. Who created The Last Supper? Vincent van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, or Raphael? And to give you an extra clue, The Last Supper was created in 1498. Which artist was about then to create this painting? The answer is Leonardo da Vinci. 75. Who painted the Mona Lisa? Gustav Klimt, Leonardo da Vinci, or Rembrandt van Rijn? The Mona Lisa was created by Leonardo da Vinci. Question 76. Irises in Monet's Garden is the work of which artist? Vincent van Gogh, Claude Monet, or William Adolphe Bouguereau? Irises in Monet's Garden is the work of Claude Monet. 77. Creation of Adam, 1510, was painted by which artist? Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, or Caspar David Friedrich? Perhaps you don't know which artist that piece was created by, but the year may give you an extra hint. The answer is Michelangelo. 78. Who wrote Ulysses? James Joyce, Leo Tolstoy, or George Orwell? Who wrote Ulysses? The correct answer is James Joyce. 79. The Great Gatsby critiques which dream? American Dream, Roman Dream, or Victorian Dream? The Great Gatsby critiques the American Dream. Question 80. Which style defines 100 Years of Solitude? Magical realism, scientific, or satire? Testing your literature knowledge here. Do you know the answer to this one? It's magical realism. Who created 1984? George Orwell, Aldous Huxley, or Franz Kafka? Who created the book 1984? The answer is George Orwell. Don Quixote mistakes windmills for what? Giants, castles, or dragons? The answer is giants. Question 83. Elizabeth Bennet appears in which novel? Pride and Prejudice, Wuthering Heights, or Jane Eyre? Elizabeth Bennet appears in one of those novels, and it's Pride and Prejudice. War and Peace is set during which wars? The Napoleonic Wars, the World War I, or the Cold War? Napoleonic Wars, World War I, or Cold War? War and Peace is set during the Napoleonic Wars. Slight clue in the question now, well done if you got that one right. What object must be destroyed in The Lord of the Rings? The One Ring, the sword, or the crown? The One Ring, the Sword, or the Crown? The answer is the One Ring. An endangered species, how many Amur leopards remain in the world? Around 130, around 1,000, or around 10,000? How many Amur leopards remain in the wild? Around 130. What is a major risk to mountain gorillas from humans? Human diseases, overfishing, or ocean pollution? The answer is human diseases. What caused drastic declines in black rhinos? Large-scale poaching, habitat flooding, or natural disasters? One of those three things caused drastic decline in the population of black rhinos. Which one is correct? It's large-scale poaching. Question 89. Which elephant is critically endangered and forest-dwelling? An African forest elephant, an Asian elephant, or an African savanna elephant? The answer is an African forest elephant. Question 90. How many Olympic medals does Michael Phelps have? 28, 1, or 7? Swimmer Michael Phelps, how many Olympic medals does he have? The answer is a whopping 28. 10 questions left. Here's the home stretch of the quiz. Here's question 91. How many Grand Slam singles titles did Serena Williams win? 23, 3, or 14? Some big gaps between these answers here. So how well do you know your tennis? The answer is 23. Next question. In what year did Messi finally win the World Cup? 2014, 2005, or 2022? Lionel Messi, when did he finally win the World Cup? The answer is 2022. Tom Brady won 7 times in which sport? Soccer, football, or ice hockey? Tom Brady won 7 times in which sport? Soccer, football, that's American football, or ice hockey? The answer is football. Question 94. Who has won 8 Wimbledon titles? Roger Federer, Andy Murray, or Boris Becker? One of those men has won 8 Wimbledon titles. Do you know which? The answer is Roger Federer. Which rival cried with Federer at his final match? Rafael Nadal, Pete Sampras, or Andy Murray? The correct answer is Rafael Nadal. What is Usain Bolt's 100-metre world record time? 9.99 seconds, 9.58 seconds, or 9.12 seconds? The answer is 9.58 seconds. Who has the most men's Grand Slam singles titles? Again, we're talking about tennis here. Pete Sampras, Novak Djokovic, or Rafael Nadal? The answer is Novak Djokovic. Question 98. Which tennis player is known as the Swiss Maestro? Roger Federer, Stan Wawrinka, or Bjorn Borg? The Swiss Maestro. Do you recognise that nickname? Does it belong to any of those? Well, it does, and it belongs to Roger Federer. Question 99. Which player is the all-time leader in career home runs? Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, or Barry Bonds? No bonus points for working out what sport we're talking about here. The correct answer is Barry Bonds. Well done if you got that one. Here's question 100. Which team has won the most World Series titles? Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, or Los Angeles Dodgers? The most World Series titles have been won by New York Yankees. And we always finish around here with a bonus question to tie things up in a neat bow. Will Smith has played which famous boxer on the big screen? Let us know the answer in the comments and let us know how many points you scored out of 100. You can let us know which quiz class award you've won, Champion, Master, Enthusiast, Apprentice, or Explorer. Comment below. And that really is it. Thanks a lot for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified on all of our upcoming videos. In the meantime, there are plenty of quizzes already uploaded that you can try right now, so why not dive straight into another one? My name's Ellis and I've been your host. Thanks again for joining us today at Quiz Class. We'll see you next time.